This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. Today is a very exciting day. I am going to interview one of our clients in Launch Lab Mastermind. We met over a year ago, and Shikha Khanna, our guest today, is heading a movement in which she is featuring 100 moms across the globe in a coffee table book, 100 self-portraits, 100 dreams. You know, the idea here is that an ordinary person can have a big dream. And if you really decide that this is what you want out of life and you believe it, you can make it happen. So, Shikha, welcome, Shikha, to this interview today. How are you doing?
Good,
I know that
good.
is early for you.
Yes, thank you. Thank
It's
you
late
for
for you,
inviting me. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Shikha, you know, I know that you're a well-known photographer. You've been doing photography for over 20 years. You have your own business. You've done numerous projects where you've won awards and whatnot. You teach photography online. You teach several courses, which I have taken 2 of, which I love, and we could talk about. And so, but this project is such a project that I just want to kind of focus on this project, if you will.
Yeah.
And I really want to know, yes, you're in the Launch Lab Mastermind, and all of a sudden you have this thought and you decide that this is it. It's almost like an epiphany, you know, a pivotal moment for you. Can you talk about that pivotal moment for you, how this idea became such a huge, well, your dream is being manifested now. So let's go back to the point at which you had that pivotal moment. Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think before I start, I must say that what the Launch Lab is doing is incredible, supporting people at every level, giving them baby steps if baby steps are needed, giving them very fast steps if fast steps are needed, giving them a pause if pause is needed. So great teamwork and great initiative with Launch Lab. Having said that, and I've done many courses online, so I know that this is a very valuable place to be in. Having said that, this movement is something I can talk for 6 hours about, and to talk about it in a few lines, I will have to skip and jump some timelines, and I can only say that when you're searching for something, you have to search long enough. You wouldn't get the answer immediately of what you wanted to do. There was COVID period. There was a time when lockdowns were happening and I wanted to pivot online. Pivoting online meant, with a 4-month-old baby in hand, meant a lot of learning coming our way, because I was always a hands-on photographer and nobody knew if photography would be available, because nobody knew what's next. So like any smart person, I was like, okay, online is the place to be. I used to teach photography. So initially I just wanted to teach iPhone photography, and that's how I started. And then why I'm telling you this journey is you will see from iPhone wherever I reached. From iPhone photography, I did a couple of classes and everything. I realized that there was a lot of demand coming for me to be online with my face, with all the Facebook lives, etc., which I didn't want to do. That took me to an inner journey, because I always thought that, I don't know why people shy away from camera, and I was always behind the camera. So that journey took me inside to find out, why am I not wanting to be in front? What is it that's stopping me to show up? From there, research into myself and to why mothers and moms don't want to show up. And the research went across the world. And from there, realization that mothers everywhere are hesitant, and they will not be able to pivot online if they don't show up. So with that responsibility, I wanted to launch a course for mothers so that they can start taking their own pictures, and initially just wanted to empower them with technical stuff. And I never knew that that technical will take a psychological turn, and my understanding of 22 years will come handy to make them understand that you also need to do some inner child healing and crossover. So that led to the self-portrait workshops. So from iPhone, I ended up doing self-portrait workshop. Now research was going on and how self-portrait was the toughest thing for mothers to do. From there, one fine day, I met one mom in South Africa, and we had a great conversation. And she said some things, of course, I can go on and on, but she said some things that made me realize that the mothers must unite with their stories to inspire. And from there, I started to interview moms once a week, just like that. And after the fourth interview, on the fifth interview, I was called for a hypnosis session at 3:30 a.m. And from there was a voice in my ear. I didn't hear anything that Jamile was talking about, except that warrior has arrived. Get up and do what you're meant to do. Following that, with a little baby in my hand and still lockdowns, I said 100 days, 100 inspiring stories, 100 mothers will be found, and their stories will come out through self-portraits. And so my self-portrait workshop experience turned into a book. And from there, the journey of meeting 100 different kinds of mothers, spiritual breakthroughs. And from that, some wise woman suggesting me to come to India and do it in person. And that wise woman is smiling. And then I listened to her. And I said, all right, we shall come out from the screen and do it in person. And here I am in 14 days launching the book in person with moms, 40 of them coming on stage with their stories to launch with me, to honor motherhood formally, and to put the focus on the fact that how important it is to bring this, to notice that the source needs recognition and mother is the closest to the source. So that's my long journey from starting from an iPhone photography, pivoting online to all the way reaching here. And the reason I'm saying that, yeah,
it's amazing how a thought, all it takes is a thought, and then it's and your intuition. Of course, I've always followed my intuition all my life, and I think this is what pushed you to understand, because you heard that voice. The warrior must be heard, so I must go ahead with this. So, it's amazing how a thought can just turn into a movement, because that's exactly what we are facing today. I'm curious about why the number of 100. I mean,
I think there are two, three reasons for it. I don't know, 100 has become my favorite number anyway. The word 100 comes very easily. But honestly speaking, I have put, as an experience, I have put 100 poets on stage 7 times, working in the background. So 100 is the easiest number for me to put on stage. If I had to put a big number, so I was also being very smart, because I have never put 1,000 people on stage, but I have put 100 people 7 times on stage. So I knew how to organize this whole thing, and there comes my children usually in all my interviews. So yeah, we'll have to proceed. Can you shut the door, please? Can you shut the door, please? I still didn't hear what I was saying. So
I just want to know that. Yeah, it's wonderful when you're live like that, because children want to see mom and see what mom's doing, and so
yeah, so I'm breaking that norm as well. Yeah, when moms have to dream and show up, they must show up with their children and all the stuff that comes with it. So to going back to 100, I have so many things. It's also my 20 years of my career. I'm a photographer. I've been a teacher, and I've worked in the printing line. So a book. So I know that I can take out a book, and I have put 100 people on stage. So I know that I can manage 100 people's event. So I think there were different things I was getting prepared for. I was prepared in every field of what I'm doing today in hands-on training, and all this is coming together for this day today, so that I'm not nervous when I'm doing it.
It's just wonderful, because you took everything you knew, everything you had experienced, you put it all together, and And so it gave you the confidence to step ahead and do this, even though it was something you had never done before. And
Right. I never
so,
done it
but
alone, but whatever I learned at other places, together I compiled it by also
Right.
with my mother experience, and it all came together. So never question why you're doing what you're doing, because when I was doing these things independently, people were just wondering that I'm a photographer and why am I putting poets on stage and why am I doing this? It was all because I was getting prepared to do this.
to do this, and we never know where the universe is taking us. We just have
Right.
to be wide open and
Right.
and trust the process. And so
Right.
many of our people in the launch lab are, they know they're here for something bigger. They have this knowledge, they have this expertise that they want to share with others because they really want to impact other people's lives. And so here you are, a great model for them to trust, to trust whatever comes to you, and go for it, and
Right. Right.
let it manifest itself. So I love that they're coming in and out. So tell me, I know that it's 100 days. I mean, there were 100 moms interviews. I know that you went through some struggles. Can we talk a little bit about because nothing is ever perfect. There is no, we talk about doing life, and life sometimes does us in, and so we have to kind of manage it. So what kind of struggles did you encounter along the way, and how did you overcome some of those struggles? Some of it must have been tiredness, for sure.
So I think the limiting beliefs I think first of all, I didn't know, because I was going from pillar to post, like most of us go for online courses, doing this, doing that, getting this, getting that, trying to get everything in order. Just to manage to struggle to understand was a very big struggle, right? That's struggle number one. Struggle number two was I had moved cities. When I started this project, it was just 2 months it had happened that I have moved from the city with two very young kids. One was 1 year old, and when I started studying, he was 4 months. But by the time I moved to this city, which I am in now, Pune, I had just moved. And then after 2 months, we also had bought a house. So I breastfed my kid till like he was 2 years old, 2 years, 3 months. So my night duty was going on. The new city was there. My older one had left his friends. I had left my friends and my village, which I was dependent on, and ended up buying a new house. So we were constructing the new house, getting the funds together for that, and the constant learning. The little sleep I had, I was not take that as well, because I was trying to study and understand what I'm doing. And then by launching this, talking to mothers and understanding their stories, holding on, with this tired phase, even holding their stories emotionally inside of me, and carrying them, like I'm still carrying the 100 stories inside of me. I know each mother's story. I've spoken them from hours, so it just didn't happen. I got to know them, to finding them, to making announcement. But at the same time, the in and out of, there are times when I was in a live, and I was taken away, and then this little chap didn't let me come in, and I was still live with the guests. And after some time, I was getting messages that there's nobody and you're still live, because the guest had left and I had reached, and the curtain was moving on. They're like, can you just go and stop your live, because there's nobody and it's getting live streamed. From that struggle to the first struggle with Melanie, I just couldn't stop the live, I just couldn't stop the live. And I was not there. People could hear my voice and we were just laughing, because I was like, I still can't stop. I had to shut the computer to stop the live. From having that kind of a tech problem, that the first time I'm just like, I can't. And then Melanie was just laughing. She's like, I can still hear you. I can still see you, but you can't see me. I don't know where my Zoom section had run. So from those funny moments to serious moments to a very serious moment, that at 75, I was interviewing somebody, and my little one who came in burned himself with hot. And I just heard his scream. I shut the laptop. I ran down and I had to rush him again, new city. And thank God to the first aid I gave him, but it looked horrible. His whole one face, everything was black. For 1.5 months, I had to stop the project at 75, because I was going steady every day, interviews for 100 days. And healing it and feeling guilty that why am I even trying to do this when I am a mom of a young kid who can get hurt. And From there to my son, older one, coming in saying, your dream is to bring 100 moms together, to picking up myself again finding mothers, again getting the momentum. And then I was the 100th mom on my 40th birthday to complete it. So all these happen, the chaos is always hitting you, but something kept on telling me to move. And from that to the struggle of just believing Lucy saying, okay, what if we met in person? And I'm like, fine, we're going to meet in person. And now we're meeting in person 8 months down the lane. And in that, struggling for funds, sponsors, people trying to ask me what you see. We don't see the impact. We don't see the matrix. It's beautiful, but so all these things are still, I mean, happening, and many more will happen. But coming so far, you just feel that you did it and you just have to keep going ahead, and it only starts to get better, but it takes time.
Oh my God. And so your story is just so amazing. And I love the fact that your young son said, Mom, you're 75 and your dream is to do 100. I mean, what a beautiful thought that you were able to impress upon your son, your dream, and your son is supporting you with the dream. I mean, so that is just so
Yeah, and
heartwarming.
that's what I want to tell all mothers also today, that your children do support you. It's not that
Yeah.
you are supporting them all the time. My son is my spokesperson right now. He's telling the whole world that 100 mothers are coming from all over
I
the
love
world. And before I enter, the whole party already knows that the Prime Minister sent a letter to me, and he's already showing that he was, the minute the PMO letter came, which I never believed will come, the minute that came, he was the first one who was jumping like a kangaroo, like a mother would jump for their child when they would have achieved something. And I think that moment will never be forgotten by him, because he celebrated his mother's achievement rather
Right.
than the mother always, celebrating the child's achievement. And
The
that's
child's exactly.
yeah, I
It's
think
so powerful. That is
it,
such a powerful thing. I can't wait. I know, I just want to tell my audience that I'm one of the moms that is coming to India, and I'm so excited, and it's going to happen in about a week's time. And so I just wanted to show the audience, the audience, that you can take a dream and you can decide that this is your dream, and just let the universe, help you open yourself up. And then all of a sudden, the right people are going to come into your life, and you have to trust the process. You just have to trust the process. And yes, there will be some setbacks. You heard the setbacks that Shikha went through, but it didn't stop her. It almost did, but then the universe provided her young son to say, "Mom, you had this dream of 100 moms. You have to continue." Oh my
yeah,
God, yeah,
yeah.
it
And there's a
just goes.
beautiful saying, you should think you deserve it and the universe will serve it. So,
Yeah,
I would just, all of us deserve our dreams to become true. And we should just keep thinking that we deserve this to happen. And many more things will open that you don't even think can open.
absolutely. So let me know. Your whole idea of bringing the moms to India, of course, it was suggested. I know it was suggested by me because I wanted to come to India and meet you, because I was in such awe of what you were doing. And I thought, because I saw the vision of us dancing on the grass, holding one another, and sending the message to the world that yes, we moms do support one another, and we do count, and we do, we are the foundation of our generation and of generations to come. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so powerful. It is so
And
unbelievable.
we'll take that picture so that we can tell the world that, because the same vision was in the visual that I had was, I'm getting a drone now on that day of all the mothers locking arms, looking up together, as many can come together on a hilltop. And
Right.
so we're going to take that picture and show it to people that it's possible to even meet in person. The world doesn't stop only in online and get stuck there and get all confused, and so many things can happen.
Oh my God. So, I just wanted, the interview is to not only introduce you to the audience, not only let the audience know that, yes, we all have dreams, let us, especially we women, we tend to put other people, important, especially for moms, it's our children. They become our life and we kind of forget ourselves, So, let us remember who we are, because we're so much more than just a mom. And we do have dreams, and our dreams should be kept alive. And it's obvious that our children, just like Shika's boy, they want us to be dreaming. They want us to have our dreams and help them come true. Because why? Because if you can do it, then I can do it. That's the message that they get.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so Shika, so tell me, Shika, what message would you have for any of our, it's odd enough that we deal with Project Next people. And as you know, Tony and Dean's program is the Project Next. And Dean says it himself, 65% of the people are women. It just seems like there's a paradigm shift here, that women are becoming the entrepreneurs, but it's more than just a business. It's a there's a paradigm shift happening here, that each one of us has a message that we want to give to the world, that we want to impact in the world. So what message would you give to any of our students who are in the maybe first step, second step of making this dream of theirs come true?
I just feel that we should all know that the lives that we've lived have taught us great lessons, and all those lessons will come of some use when we keep moving ahead. The key is to keep moving ahead.
Yes.
Which one will come use when we don't know? So we should not first of all feel the lack of the fact that we don't know anything. We know so much that we only don't know how much we know, and then how we can use that to create something around us. It'll just pop out the minute you will need it. It'll just pop out, and this is what you know, and this is what you know. The only thing I can say is that don't look for perfection. There is no perfect way of launching it. Do not hesitate to move forward and show up. Build relationships. This whole project is standing purely on relationships, and relationships also get through these wires of internet. I don't know Lucy in person. She's not my neighbor. She's coming all the way. I don't know Hillary. Why is she coming all the way? I don't know Patty. They are coming all the way. There are 40 of them coming. They're not coming because they know me in person, but they're coming because they can feel the relationship. They can feel the trust. They can feel the thing. And that takes time, like in the real world, even in online. You need to keep showing up. And also that the learning is that don't jump from one place to another. Take one course, take one thing, achieve something, take the support. I mean, this is the fourth time I'm probably in the launch lab, and every time I tune in, like recently, just I've been busy with this, but there's always a learning, even if it's the same thing. It just sounds a little different when you know what to do with it. So this is a long journey. There is no quick thing, but the only thing that will take you in is that you know what you know, and you will apply it the minute the tool comes in front of you. Keep learning the tool, and definitely have people around you who trust you. Talk to people who will say, yeah, go for it, you can do it. And Launch Lab does that beautifully. Launch Lab does that very beautifully. To Lucy getting excited for this thing, to Mike celebrating the letters, to Edith, and going ahead, let me interview you. That's the people you need to hang around with, because you don't need anybody else. These people will take you ahead. So I definitely feel the friendship I feel when I come to Launch Lab, it's become a family. And only surround yourself with people who can take you ahead. and rest will all fall in place. Your message will become clear and you'll not even know when it became clear. You'll not even come to know, as long as you are taking one step every day.
Absolutely. Great advice for everybody. Thank you. You know, I know that this started as a project, it's become a movement. And even you, I mean, I can't even believe, I mean, I remember the call you made to me about a month ago. You said, I have great news. The Prime Minister wrote me a letter. He knows about this project. Oh my
Right.
God. I know that your son, who told you, Mom, you have a vision. Your
Yeah.
son celebrated this
Yeah.
in a big way, right? Can you tell us about how that felt when you received the letter, not only from the Prime Minister, but also from another very famous person in India, right? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Because this is growing. This is a movement. This is going to become a revolution.
And just to tell you that if people still don't know my mother's story, but I've written it in the book. You just said revolution. Just last line of my story in the book, it says, your silence has become a revolution. Watch me do this. So,
Wow.
so sometimes even somebody's silence can become a revolution inside of you. And receiving all these things are great for others to believe that you are doing great.
Right.
Like for me, the PMO letter is good for the sponsors to believe that I need your support, or for others to believe. But for me, Lucy coming at the age of 77 with excitement is a bigger letter than, the PMO letter. Hillary telling me that since 1997, I haven't stepped out of without my children. And this is the first time I'm coming all the way to India just for 2 days. I told her, stay back. No, I can't. I have to go back to my child because the child is struggling without her. Since 1997, Hillary is taking all the way step. Nadia is coming in spite of being nervous, never traveled alone. Mawansa is coming. Her child is suffering. She said, I'm going to make it. Many mothers, Olympian moms are standing from India to host the Run for Moms. My Zumba ambassador of India is saying that I've said no to all marathons, but I am unable to say no to you for starting Zumba on the day of the run. This is bigger validation of what you're doing than anybody's letters and everything. And that's where I want to tell you that the fact that you can stand in this vision and feel the real pulse, nothing feels more better and more responsible, because every day when all of you are joining me, I know it doesn't happen. It just as this doesn't happen. And the message that comes to me is, when you're ready to serve, the world comes together. Just keep your head grounded. So the Prime Minister letter is a great thing. It was also a story of manifestation, that I must say this. The messages must be heard and believed and not questioned. So I landed back into my hometown and I was getting down the plane, and the message came that the only person who can understand what you're doing in this country is the Prime Minister, because Prime Minister Modi is very aligned. I reach home and my brother, I told him, what if I need the letter from the Prime Minister? And he says, oh, his mom just turned 100. See, I said, wow, his mom turned 100.
Wow.
I write the letter. My friend whose boss has written letters to Prime Minister helps me write the letter. I go to a dinner and I'm like, I want the Prime Minister. And then somebody says, oh, I know the Home Ministry. I can take the letter to the right person. And then, everything started to open up. But the first thought was, the Prime Minister will understand me. Are you crazy, Shikha? Shut up and go back to. That would have been the usual response. But I'm like, wow, that's a great message. Let me work on that. Wow, Lucy's saying, let's do it in person. That's a great message. Let's do that. So I just think doing that with criticism rather than that, just
Absolutely. Just be open all the time and just say yes to the opportunity, because the opportunity presents itself for a reason. It's there, the universe saying, here I am, I'm helping you, be open and let's go. So I am so happy that you, Shikha, have listened to the voice, listened to the voices, listened to your son, listened to everything that has helped you, manifest this. And because otherwise, if you had been closed in any way, it would have ended. It would not, and it's just going to grow more and more because of who you are, because of who we are, because of the moms, because there's a global need to know the importance of a mom and the essence of who that person is. After all, without mothers, none of us would be here when you think about it. So,
Right.
so, so thank you so very much. I cannot wait to meet you. I will meet you in a week. We will have another interview in a week, and we will show certainly our audience what is happening and how this is growing and how excited we are. And we want them, our audience, to be part of this also.
Right, right. And I just feel the support you're giving at Launch Lab is priceless. And it's just not a technical support, it's the support of celebration, it's the support of family, it's the support of growing together that you don't get so easily in any programs that I can vouch for. So thank you for creating that environment, Lucy, and good luck to everybody. I'm around, any help needed. Post 14th, I'm there.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shikha. And I will see you soon. I can't wait to give you that hug.
I know I'm meeting myself. Take care, Lucy.
All right. Thank you. And bye to the audience, and we'll see you in India.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yes, we will. Take care. Bye bye.